行くぞ。
So watch your step.
これは強敵だな。
When you get up top, there's one there, and hold on to the back of the seat, under the seat. Okay. When you get up top, stand on the seat, and you slide it. Okay? Make sure you stand on the seat. Yep. Come up. Oh God, yeah. Okay, left. So leg over. No, onto the seat. Yep.
嬉しいな。すごいすごい。 りがとうございました。